Welcome to my latest video. It's been a while since I've pushed one out. Work and family commitments have slowed things up, so I just want to get back on track. Today I'm actually going to share somebody else's GitHub project. I've had to make edits to it to get it to work for me. The main reason is the FootMob data that it extracts doesn't extract well for me on a regular basis, so I've just removed it from the code and really focused on pulling the WhoScored data that allows me to create my own visuals, but the package itself also creates some wonderful visuals as well. So I'm just going to walk you through that and the steps and what I had to do to get this going. So first I'm going to share the GitHub page. This page here is from Muhammad Adnan. I hope I pronounced that correctly. He's a wonderful coder who's shared this project. As I said, for me, initially it was working. FootMob may have changed some of their website script, and so it really makes it difficult to actually pull the data from there. So I've removed it from my code. So this is his updated file here. So you would need to download that. There's also two files here that you have to download, and there's some more stuff you have to download as well. So I'm just going to show you how I set up the folder that I have it in. So this is just the folder I created for this particular tutorial. This is important. We'll need to use this later on, so I'm just going to copy that for now because I'm going to need to fix some code shortly. You'll see in here I have a matches HTML folder. You'll need to create that, and you'll also need to create this. I call it tables designs. You can, probably a more representation of that would be badges. So it has the team badges inside, so you need to put those in the root folder. There's his files there. Without further ado, I'm just going to open this up in Jupyter Notebook. If you haven't got Jupyter Notebook installed, please check one of my earlier videos. It tells you how to set up, make sure you have Python on your system and so forth, so to make sure this is ready for you to run. You can see at the top here I'm on WhoScored, and this is a particular game that we are going to look at. How we get the data from this page, we are going to click on the page, hit Control S. It's going to ask us to save it. As you can see, I'm now inside this matches HTML. I'm going to copy this. I should have done this before, and now I'm going to hit save. So as we look into here, we'll see a lot of packages that are going to be needed. So I'm just going to clear everything out to start. We'll go to the top, and I'm just going to run this first cell. There's a lot of packages, as I said, so it's going to take a minute to run it the first time, so we can install it all, import it all. Once this changes to the number 1, we will know that it has run successfully, and there we go. Down here you can see that I pasted in that HTML. So now we have the complete path to the file that we extracted from WhoScored. We're going to run this. File has been found, gives us the right name, file read successfully. So it's read the code from that particular file. What we're going to do now is we're going to extract all that data from that file that it's read. Again, this needs to be the full address to that file. We are going to run it. As you can see, it skipped the XG because it had a 401 error trying to extract the code from FootMob. So I removed that from the rest of the code, so now it's not going to visualize that. It's only a couple of visualizations that it affects, so I've removed it further on down. So the first visual that we're going to see is a pass network for both teams. So we're just going to hit run. Don't worry about these warnings, everything works fine. And if we scroll down, what we'll see is a very detailed passing network for both teams. If you understand passing networks, the thicker lines and the darker color shows you the more passes between those particular players. On this one, if you see these squares, these are the substitutions that have come in. So that is where they have been on the field. It also shows you the average defensive line. You can see Brentford's was a lot higher than Aston Villa's. So the next one we're going to run is the defensive actions. I'm going to pull that defensive block next. This can take a moment because it is trying to extract quite a bit of data. So again, here Aston Villa's defensive block was very, very deep, well on the edge of their box. We were defending stoutly. Brentford were probably unlucky not to get a point at least in this game. Defensive block for Brentford was much higher. So yes, it was an interesting game. So the next we will just run that little bit of code. Now we're going to look at the progressive passes. Progressive passes, for those who don't understand, it is a pass that reduces the distance to the opposition goal by at least 10 yards. So in here there's the code that filters the ones out that are less than that, and then it's going to plot it on the pitch. That was pretty quick. As you can see, Brentford had 48 progressive passes, Aston Villa 30. Shows you which side has the most. Brentford's were pretty even down the left and the right. Aston Villa seem to have more down the right hand side. Again, this is just the data here to show you what is above in the visual. Now we're going to look at the progressive carries. Again, Brentford well on top in these. Aston Villa just 12. We're normally very, very good at this with certainly Morgan Rogers and Jacob Ramsey, but Brentford are, again, they're a good side at home, and Aston Villa did well to get all 3 points. Aston Villa progressive carries more down the left. Again, that's probably related to Morgan Rogers, and Brentford pretty even, a little bit more down the left. Next we're going to look at the shot map. Code is filtering the missed shots, the save shots, and the shot on the post, and also the goal. So it's only pulling in that data, and then it's going to plot it on a pitch for us. As you can see here, and this is where I moved the XG on Muhammad's original visual. If the code was pulled from FootMob, it would tell you the XG for each team, so I've removed that from his code because, as I say, the code wasn't putting it in. I keep getting errors, but this is still plotted in very, very nicely. It shows you 13 shots from Brentford, 3 on target, 12 from Aston Villa, 4 on target. Average distance pretty much the same. You can see the 1 goal here from Ollie Watkins that went through the keeper's legs to win the game. Couple of big chances here, shown by the circles that probably Aston Villa should have scored, but pretty even in that aspect. Next, we're going to look at the saves from the not saves from the keeper. As you can see on this, Brentford did hit the post. 3 saves were made over here. Watkins was a little fortunate for his goal to go through the keeper. The rest of the saves, we made them pretty easy, straight down the middle where the keeper was. So keepers didn't have to do a great deal with the amount of shots that were taken. Now we're going to look at the match momentum. As I said earlier, Aston Villa were probably slightly lucky to get away with the 3 points. They did defend very, very well, but Brentford had a lot of possession. You can see most of the attacking threat was with Brentford. Aston Villa had this one spike early, or late in the first half. The threat wasn't too high, but as I say, the keeper allowed the ball to go through him. But from that on, and for most of the game, most of the threat came from Brentford, even though Aston Villa's XT was slightly higher. Now we're going to look at the match stats. Possession. Brentford had quite a higher percentage, way more passes. See their long passes are about even, corners were even. Average goal kicks, as you can see, Aston Villa went longer. This probably didn't help with the goalkeeper switching at half time, and the keeper coming in also not so great with his feet, so he was probably playing longer kicks to get it away from the goal. Interceptions, tackles about the same. Aston Villa had more clearances, aerial wins. Brentford had the majority of those, even though the headers' chances were the same. Now we're going to look at the final third entries. 47 from Brentford, 30 from Aston Villa. Going into that final third, a couple from the keeper from Aston Villa here, more down the centre for Aston Villa. Brentford certainly more down the wings. This one does as a look at these areas in and around the penalty box and just outside the box, and looking at the passing into the certain zones. And as you can see, Aston Villa had the edge on the zone 14, which is this orange area here. Brentford had much higher passing percentages in and around the edges of the box. These are very, very impressive visuals from Muhammad, and I truly thank him for sharing this. This is the pass percentages for each teams in zones on the pitch. As you can see, Brentford more outside, wide. Aston Villa more in the middle, a little bit, down the left here, but a lot of the stuff coming through the middle, through their 2 pivoted defensive mids. This is showing where the chances come from or were created from for each team. Brentford were getting around the back of the Villa right back and getting chances in and around this area. Aston Villa's were much longer, coming from deeper, and as you can see, it was much more fluid, and Brentford were very dangerous, and as I say, again, I probably won't mention it again, they were unlucky not to get something from the game. But being an Aston Villa fan, I'm not too worried. We're going to look at the box entries. 21 for Brentford, just 10 for Aston Villa, showing which direction they were coming from. As you see, these are attempted. These ones that actually, with a circle on the end, actually went to somebody. These dotted lines were ones that didn't. We're now going to look at the crosses for both teams. Aston Villa only put 8 in, but they had a higher percentage successful. Brentford had 19, only 4 successful. And so, again, another stat that Brentford were higher in. Now we're looking at turnovers. Aston Villa did turn over the ball quite a lot in Brentford areas, and Brentford just a few here. One did create an opportunity, this darker circle here, but no goal was scored from it. If a goal was scored from a turnover, you'd see a star in here, which would signify where the turnover took place. Now we're looking at domination of the zones, and as you can see, Brentford dominated pretty much everywhere on the pitch. Luckily, Aston Villa did dominate their penalty box and a few areas outside. The only real domination was here on the left, and they balanced out on the right of the Brentford goal area. So a lot of dominance here by Brentford. Now, what's going to happen here, it's going to put all of those visuals into a page, and I think we're going to get an error here when we run it. It does take a minute. Oh, it didn't give us an error, and the reason is because, okay, the reason this didn't give us an error is because here, this does have it's connected to another folder that my code is actually in, and it's looking for a particular image in that file, but when you run it, it's going to kick an error because it's looking for an address that's on my computer and not yours. So you'll just again have to change that to the address on your computer. So as I say, pulled a bunch of those together. Nice visual here. Again, give recognition to Muhammad. That's his handle there over on X. I have edited some of this code, but props to him and all the work that he has done. So this next window here is going to pull the rest of those into a second one. Because there's a lot of data being pulled together, it does take a moment. Again, you would have to fix this address here because it's going to crash or say it can't find that image, and same down here for the away team. So just remember that when you do it. Okay, so here it is, pulled it into a nice little visual for you. So we move on to this next bit of data. I'm just going to run through these. It's going to pull all this code together. We're going to run it down here. Now it's going to create a top players dashboard function. It's going to look at the player stats. It's going to pull the code, and I'm just going to run through these to get to the bottom visual, looking at the pass map, barcodes. It's going to create that, and now it's going to come to here to create it and put it all into a nice little visual for us. Again, as I said with the others, you're going to need to change this for the home and the away team, as it will cause an error because it won't find these images. And what this does, it looks at the pass map of some top players, balls received, some particular forwards. It looks at defensive actions from the top defenders. Got Mings and Collins for representing their teams. Olsen coming in for Martinez at half time. And Flecken here for Brentford. And then in the middle, it's got the top 10 ball progresses. Lewis Potter was the highest for Brentford. The highest Aston Villa player was Tielemans. Then we have a shot sequence. Visser got the most, then followed by Watkins, Tielemans. Top 10 defenders, and then top 10 threatening players. Charlie and Ramsey here, Damsgaard, Lewis Potter, Visser, and so on. So from his original code, there is more code below this. I've deleted it. It's not needed for what I want, because what I'm going to show you in future weeks is how I use that code to just extract the match data, so then I can create my own visuals, which I have done, and I'll share some of those in coming tutorials. But I really wanted to highlight this code. It's above where I am. I'm not at this level, and I don't know if I ever will. I don't know if I have the time to get to here. So there's people out in the community that have great stuff on GitHub. You need to go and search for it. I've chatted to Muhammad a bit about his code and learned some stuff from him. As I say, there is some issue with the FootMob from his data. I've removed it from mine. So if you do want my Jupyter Notebook, reach out to me on X, and I'll certainly share it with you. I'll shoot you an email. I do need to publish this at GitHub when I get time. So again, wonderful work, and I hope you've enjoyed this. I appreciate your time, and please share and subscribe if you haven't already. But again, in coming weeks, I have created my own visuals, done some different stuff that I needed this data from, and I will certainly share that with you. So please leave your comments below. I look forward to sharing more videos in the coming weeks. Again, have a wonderful day, and see you soon. Bye for now.